You're standing in a hallway outside a hospital room. Someone just told you the news you were dreading. Everything in your chest has gone still and heavy at the same time. And then, out of nowhere, you laugh. Not a smirk. Not a nervous smile you can explain away. A real laugh. Escaping before you even knew it was coming. In the exact moment it makes the least sense. You clap a hand over your mouth. You look around to see who noticed. And underneath the laugh, a second feeling arrives almost instantly. Shame. What is wrong with me? Why would I laugh right now, of all moments? Here's the part that might actually surprise you. Nothing is wrong with you. Your body just did something very old, very automatic, and very badly timed. And once you understand what it's actually doing, the shame usually loosens its grip faster than you'd expect. This isn't rare, even though it feels like it in the moment. It happens at funerals, mid-eulogy, when the room is heavy with grief, and someone's laugh cracks through the silence like a struck match. It happens in a serious meeting, when a coworker delivers bad news, and you feel a laugh rising in your throat that you have to physically swallow down. It happens when someone you love is crying in front of you, and instead of the comfort you meant to offer, a smile shows up on your face instead, completely uninvited. You've probably spent years quietly filing this away as evidence of something broken in you, a weird sense of humor, a coldness you're secretly ashamed of, proof that you don't feel things the way you're supposed to. You do feel things the way you're supposed to. Here's the first piece of what's actually happening. Strong emotion doesn't stay in your mind. It floods your body. A spike of adrenaline, muscles bracing. Your whole system suddenly on high alert, even when there's no physical threat in the room at all. And once that pressure builds, it has to go somewhere. It doesn't just sit there quietly. Think of it like a pressure cooker with a release valve. The valve doesn't open because something inside is pleasant. It opens because the pressure has nowhere else to go, and the body has built-in ways of letting it out fast. Tears, trembling, sudden restless movement, laughter. All of them belong to the same family. All of them are your nervous system, finding the quickest exit it can. Your body doesn't file laughing and crying as far apart as you'd assume. Watch someone receive genuinely overwhelming news, the best news of their life, and you'll often see them laugh and cry in the same 30 seconds, sometimes in the same breath. The line between the two reactions is thinner than it feels from the inside. So the laugh isn't commentary on the moment. It was never a verdict on how you feel about what's happening. It's your body running out of room to hold it and reaching for the fastest valve it has. But tension release alone doesn't explain everything. If it did, you'd expect an even split. Sometimes tears, sometimes laughter. Roughly random. That's not really what happens. There's usually a pattern to when the laugh specifically shows up instead of anything else. So there's a second piece here, and this one is a little harder to sit with. When emotional input arrives faster than your brain can sort it, something in the processing gets skipped. Under normal circumstances, your brain has time to categorize what it's feeling. This is grief, this is fear, this is shock, and match it to an appropriate response. But true overload doesn't leave time for that sorting. The moment is too big, too sudden, too much all at once. This is the part that reframes the whole thing. The laugh isn't a sign you didn't feel the moment deeply enough. It's often the opposite. It tends to show up hardest in the moments that overwhelmed you the most, the ones your system had the least time to process cleanly before it needed to do something with all that pressure. Which means the worse the moment, the more likely this misfire becomes. Not because you cared less, because you were given less time to sort what you were feeling before your body needed an exit. So here's what's actually happening when you laugh at the worst possible moment. The pressure valve explains why your body needed to discharge something physically in the first place. Emotion that intense doesn't just sit quietly inside you. The processing mismatch explains why laughter specifically got grabbed instead of the reaction you expected from yourself, or the one everyone around you was expecting to see. Put together, it stops looking like a character flaw and starts looking like exactly what it is. A system under more pressure than it had time to sort, doing the fastest thing it knew how to do. The laugh was never proof you didn't care. If anything, it was proof of how much you were holding right before it happened. So what do you actually do the next time it happens? Telling yourself to suppress it harder rarely works, and it usually backfires. Adding pressure to a system that's already overloaded tends to make the reflex more likely, not less. You've probably already tried this. You know it doesn't hold. The more useful move happens in how you understand it, not how hard you fight it. Naming it, even silently, in the moment. This is overflow, not disrespect. Does something small but real. It gives your mind a container for what just happened, instead of leaving it to spiral straight into shame. And afterward, a short, honest explanation to whoever witnessed it tends to repair the moment far faster than people expect. Most people, once they hear, "I do this," when things get too heavy, it's not about you, understand immediately. They've usually felt some version of it themselves. This isn't about becoming someone who never laughs at the wrong time again. That's not fully within your control, and chasing it will only add more pressure to an already overloaded system. The goal is smaller and more honest than that. It's understanding that the laugh was never really about the moment in front of you. It was about how much you were feeling right before it. More than any tear, in that instant.